Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
This episode of Cut the Clutter, we will start by displaying to you 4 pictures. And please watch these pictures as these run on the screen. One picture is of a big political rally. Where is this? You thought elections had ended and an election commission had cracked the whip on West Bengal. These are pictures from Telangana. These are rallies both of TRS and the BJP. This particular picture that you might see is from Warangal, a BJP rally, but similarly there are pictures of TRS rallies as well. Massive rallies. Nobody is bothered about coronavirus, right? That's the story. The second picture that you see is from the funeral of a Rajasthan minister, Saleh Mohammad's father. Saleh Mohammad is a minister in the Congress cabinet in Rajasthan. This is his father's funeral. His father was a respected, holy man. He died at the age of 84. He was called Ghazi Fakir, some kind of a spiritual leader. So he had a lot of following. But does it mean that if you have a lot of following, all of the following that turns up for your funeral at a time like this, when 3,000 plus people are dying on a recorded basis every day, and Rajasthan itself has more than 1 lakh active cases at this point. Then you come to the third picture. Third picture is something that's gone viral since yesterday, and this is where, while I agree that the district magistrate who did that, he crashed into a couple of weddings which are going on beyond curfew hours and maybe beat up or shouted at people, used bad language. He should not have done that, but maybe he's been watching Singham too many times and thinks that is reality. But that besides, the fact is that should people be holding crowded weddings at this time? किसी को जान का खतरा नहीं है क्या? Is nobody afraid of this wretched virus and of death? In fact, if you drive around Haryana, that is, I'm mentioning Haryana and Western UP because it's next door to Delhi, and we have sometimes our couriers, drivers driving there, and they get caught because people have blocked the highways or the roads for weddings, particularly when they are passing through small towns. So everything goes on as normal. And next, not to be left behind, this is a picture from Kumbh Mela, the last Snan, the last Shahi Snan, which took place yesterday. Now, we know that the Mela was ended prematurely because the cases were rising, and everybody was concerned that people here will get infected in a crowd. Then they will go back to their villages because they come from all over the country, but especially from the Hindi heartland, and they will then infect others, and then the system will collapse because nobody will be able to reach facilities, oxygen, testing, remdesivir, anything that is needed at those levels. Precisely that's been happening right now, and we've talked about how the numbers in UP and Bihar have been rising like this. Now, so even then this last Snan takes place, again you can see there are people there, and again this idea that Ganga Maiya will wash away the virus, it's not correct, because I've said it several times, I will say it again. Our gods or our God, whether there's one or there are many, it's a male or female, I don't know, he or she or they, our God or gods have no time for stupid people, and they have no time for people doing stupid things in their name. They are not underemployed. They have a lot to do. They are also watching the scientists who are producing vaccines for us, inventing and producing vaccines for us. They are also watching the doctors and nurses who are looking after us, and technicians who come to your home to take those samples. They know that they are dealing with live virus, but they do it nevertheless. So God needs his or her or their time to watch them, not to watch stupid people who say that I'm doing it in the name of my religion and my God will protect me. And maybe your God may not protect you, but my God will protect me. So I can tell you that one thing, I keep saying this virus is secular, but I have to also say that stupidity and mass stupidity is also secular, because you can find it in every faith. Because similarly, there are some faiths, some religions talking against vaccines. So these are the pictures that I wanted to show you, because today's Cut the Clutter is a different kind of Cut the Clutter. That's why I'm sitting and I'm taking the notepad. I may not refer to it as much as I usually do, because this is also a little bit of a harangue, a little bit of in fact, quite a bit of an opinion, but also a little bit avuncular, because after all, occasionally when I speak, particularly in times of grave national crisis like this, sometimes I should also reflect my age, that is my youthful years, and I can be avuncular. So this is also to say that you have to be responsible, we have to be responsible. While we keep questioning the government, and we will keep raising questions with the government, even though the response very often we'll get is shoot the messenger, right? So anytime we'll raise a question, there'll be wild attacks on social media, this, that, etc., etc. That is the formula, that is the playbook now. We can deal with that. But while we question the government and governments for getting it all wrong, for not being prepared, etc., we also have to look within. Because remember, the Prime Minister himself, while announcing the lockdown last year in March, had said, "Jaan hai to jahan hai." That, you know, what will you get, what will I get if I don't live? And don't let this stupid virus get the better of you. And second, today you might say, as we keep writing on our buses in the Hindi heartland, सवारी अपने सामान की अपने आप जिम्मेवार है. So the passenger is responsible for his own baggage. Similarly, all of us are responsible for our lives, but also our families' lives, our neighbors' lives, our friends' lives, and it's a national responsibility to not get sick. Now, if you get sick, you can't help it. But did you try your best to not get sick? If you did not, then you are not fulfilling your national responsibility. Because any additional person who falls sick brings additional pressure on our health system, on our pharmaceutical supplies, on our oxygen supplies, on the family, also tends to then infect the rest of the family or people living close, because very few homes in India, very few families have homes large enough where somebody could be isolated safely. So once again, look at these pictures, and I wanted to share these with you to make us understand that whether it's politics, whether it is any religion, a wedding, remember that these 3 months the virus still has the upper hand. As more of us start getting the vaccine into our arms, then we will start turning the corner. Until then, the virus is on the top. So what happens when a big wave comes? You close your nose and mouth and eyes and duck until the wave passes. So India is now in that situation. You cannot stop this wave. No country, no city has been able to stop a wave like this. Even New York City was overwhelmed at a point. But it is for us to try not to get sick. And that is quite easy, and much easier if you see pictures of people with oxygen, with ventilators, people whose families are waiting outside hospitals, and then later people whose families are waiting outside crematoria because there is no space and there is no time slot available. Then remember that all you had to do was be very fastidious with using something like this. I mean, you can choose what you want. I'm hiding the brand name because I don't want to be plugging any brand to you. And in any case, I am not Saurav Ganguly, the chairman of Board of Cricket Control Board of India, that I'll say, oh, I protect myself with this mask, you also buy it. No, buy any mask. If you can't afford a mask, or for some reason a mask is not handy, get anything to cover yourself, because this is the best vaccine until you get a vaccine in your arms. And 2 doses, even after that for some time, we'll need these masks. So that is what I wanted to say, first of all. And then a few more points that arise from this. I told you that we are being so nonchalant कि मेरे को नहीं होता, मेरी इम्यूनिटी अच्छी है, मैं तो बहुत एक्सरसाइज करता हूँ, मैं तो रोज़ ये खाता हूँ, मैं तो रोज़ वो पीता हूँ, मैं तो च्यवनप्राश 5 बार खाता हूँ. See, this virus punishes you for any arrogance. The only thing that works with the virus is the vaccine and our immune system. So even what the doctors do, when we are taken to the hospital, they might give you remdesivir and plasma, etc. Nobody is quite sure how well they work, but basically they are making us live long enough so our immune system can fight and expel the virus, and then our body can repair itself. So the best way is to avoid that and never think that I am infallible, nothing will happen to me. There is nobody who's infallible. Even Ravan, with all the blessings he had got, he also was killed. Even Achilles was killed. You go to any history, any religion, any mythology, everybody is mortal. With this virus, remember, it's a story of, if you're watching IPL these days, you will see that advertisement, nazar hati, durghatna ghati, वही यहाँ पे है. आप नज़र को नहीं हटने दीजिए. Please, by not falling sick, you are helping the national cause. Of course, if you fall sick, you are within your rights to demand the best possible care, but think of those at the other end who are under pressure. Think of your doctors, hospitals, think of all those who are battling this day in and day out. They are going through mental stress of the kind that you and I can't imagine, because they see themselves not able to save so many patients. Now, that is not right. And once again, doctors tell us, and I am again repeating this advice, I will not give you medical advice, but doctors tell us, remember, that everybody doesn't need hospitalization. So, if you go to the print.in, I will share an article and a video with you. There is something called triage. So, doctors have to do triage and decide, looking at a patient, who needs to be admitted, who doesn't, who needs oxygen, who doesn't, who needs a ventilator, who doesn't. Don't put pressure on them. And when you are not happy with what the doctor is suggesting, don't start beating up the doctors. Be very grateful to them. At this point, I will also show you a couple of very short videos that our reporters have picked up during their travels through rural India. And you see a couple, see this ASHA workers, how hard they are working. They are paid very little. People don't trust them because there is a lot of misconception about the virus and fever, but they are the ones who are evangelizing the vaccination. They are the ones who are first responders. And look at the way also how so many really poor, not very well educated, many illiterate rural people are also understanding the importance of taking precautions and vaccination. So I'll take just a half-minute break so you can see these videos.
आपका कोरोना का शॉट कितना लग गया?
2 लग गया। सबको बुला के टीकाकरण करवाया। वो जो 60 साल से जो ऊपर वाले थे उनको 2 लग गया।
अच्छा, तो डर कोई खौफ नहीं लगा आपको?
कुछ नहीं लग गया।
Next, let us not all become Google doctors, because remdesivir, plasma, favipiravir, these are all very serious treatments. We cannot start self-medicating, or an antibiotic. Doxycycline is in fashion, ivermectin, worms. At least ivermectin, as a friend of mine in UP government, a senior friend of mine said, और कुछ नहीं तो सबका पेट साफ हो जाएगा. At least everybody will get rid of worms in their systems, in their bellies, on their liver, and also lice and other stuff. Parasites from human body will go away because it's an anti-parasitic. But it is best not to treat yourself. It's best to ask or check out what is reliable websites, or check out with reliable doctors if they have the time. But don't treat yourself, because more and more doctors are telling our staff, our reporters, that by the time people come, they've already tried everything. So what do we work on now? And they may or may not have needed this, because many of these treatments have sizable side effects. Next, vaccinations. Now we have a weapon. See, we blame the government for keeping the vaccination drive sort of pedestrian over the past 3 months. But the fact is that we've also had a lot of vaccine hesitancy. The 2 times that we went for vaccines, the first dose and the second dose, we were the only ones, or maybe there was 1 or more person. People should have been lining up, particularly after it opened up for those above 45. That is a lot of people. All of them should have been lining up, but it did not happen. That's nearly 45 crore people in India. But it did not happen. Should have happened. It should happen now. Please make your booking and get your vaccine. Please don't worry about which vaccine. All vaccines will save your life. All vaccines will almost always save us from having to go to hospital. Even if the odd one falls sick, I will tell you even anecdotally today from the hospitals around the country, and research studies will come, that even among those who had just one vaccine, one shot a few days earlier, hardly anybody has reached the state of hospitalization. So vaccines, Covishield, Covaxin, any of the other vaccines that now come in, all of them work. So whatever vaccine becomes available, even when we went for the vaccine, we didn't bother what is available. We just went there because we wanted a vaccine. So go get vaccinated, because each time, each person who gets vaccinated is doing several things. Once, you are protecting yourself, most important. Second, you are protecting your family, your friends. Second point. The third thing is, you are also that way reducing stress on the medical system. But fourth, most importantly, you are denying the virus fertile land, because the thing about this virus is, the one vulnerability of the virus is, it can only grow inside a living human body. Remember, a living human body. And as it grows, it mutates. So the virus only mutates when the virus is replicating and growing. So it needs a living human body. So fewer human bodies the virus has to infect, the fewer copies it will make, and the fewer variants or mutants it will make. So you will also making a little tiny contribution for humanity and the country, while at the same time protecting your own and your family's life. So please do not hesitate about the vaccines. Go get it right away. Now, if you look at the data of states, if I look at the data of states, and we've talked about this in the past, some states are doing very well. Rajasthan doing very well. Gujarat doing quite well also, almost as well as Rajasthan. Maharashtra doing very well. I know that the moment you say Maharashtra these days, one side on the polarized political debate gets all het up, but Maharashtra has used its vaccines very well. Some states have not done so well, and I'm very surprised that one of the states, the state that has done also brilliantly, is Kerala, almost zero wastage. But then I also look at a state like Tamil Nadu, which is a big surprise on the negative side. It's surprise on the disappointing side, that Tamil Nadu seems to have a huge amount of vaccine hesitancy and also vaccine wastage. Now we have to figure out why this is happening. Is it happening because of some religious activity, that superstition is being spread? Because Tamil Nadu is known to have a very robust public health system. I would have expected Tamil Nadu to be as efficient and as successful at this as, say, Kerala. But for some reason, Tamil Nadu isn't. So we'll see if we can send a reporter there to figure out. But if you are in Tamil Nadu, please go get vaccine for yourself and tell all those you know that vaccines don't hurt. Vaccines save lives, and vaccines will almost always save us from getting sick. Now, I'm not saying don't ask your government questions or leave it to us to ask the government questions. You ask the government questions all the time. Also remember that you have the vote. So those decisions you take yourself, but those things are all possible if we stay healthy, our families stay healthy, and if we stay alive. So first of all, this is not to say that if God forbid you get infected, you start thinking this is the end. Almost everybody survives. A very small number of people, unfortunately, do not survive, but because so many are getting infected, that number can look overwhelming, or these pictures that we get from our graveyards and crematoria, they can look overwhelming. But raise questions with your government. But remember one thing, in the end, this graph will turn. But the only way this graph will now turn is when enough people have the vaccine inside them. Because remember, it's very simple example. The more fertile land you have, the more your harvest will be, the larger your harvest will be. It applies the same way to the virus. The fertile land for the virus is us living human beings. The fewer of them are available because we are protected, or we are protecting ourselves with masks and other precautions, the less fertile land will the virus get to grow, and that's why the harvest that the virus takes out will be less. So we do these two things at the same time. And now I had mentioned to you about our new feature only for our subscribers, Your Turn. So now you see the details of that plan. You will see them on my screen. So what is the idea? So idea is a subversive one, destructive one. Destructive, why? What are we going out to destroy? We are trying to destroy the opinion industry in India. You will find that on almost everything, about 50-60 people hold forth, me included, from the virus to the economy to politics. A lot of the times, diplomacy, foreign policy, strategic affairs, cricket, anything I hold forth. So there is about 50 people like us who dominate India's opinion. So that I call the Indian opinion industry. This has to be democratized, and one way of doing it is to invite all of you discerning readers, discerning enough to pay and support the print which you are doing. So this is a subscribers only feature. Write us your views, your opinions, suggestions about anything, and don't worry, you don't have to be a pundit to write. Challenge the pundits. You disagree with me, you write. If it's written in civil language, we will publish it, and this will be a way for all of you to become part of the larger discussion forum, because we have a marvelous, qualitatively a marvelous audience, and you will reach out to all of them. Why should that privilege only be accorded to people like me and another 49 or maybe 650 like us? So once again, challenge India's opinion industry. Please write for your turn.